Hey, what's going on, Niner fam? It is Peter Lucas. I got with me today Silverado Kev from Real Talk Niner Talk. Like, it's going to be a good show, but this is the Niner Fanatic Podcast. And once again, what's up, everybody? I appreciate you guys coming on today, and watching the show with us. But like I said before, I got with me today Silverado Kev from Real Talk Niner Talk. Hey, Kev, I appreciate you coming on today. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the socials and all the stuff, the good stuff that you guys are doing over there? Because I love your guys' work.
Hey man, listen, blessed, humble, happy to be here, man. Man, I should know this by heart by now, man. But real talk, nana talk. I'm gonna grab a shirt or something to get your on our socials because they all different,
Yeah.
But primarily YouTube, real talk, nana talk. Twitter, Niner Real, Facebook. We do the Facebook thing, but primarily on YouTube and Twitter. So mainly, Twitter, Niner Real. Matter of fact, hold on, let me quit tripping and just. Hold on, give me a second. Wait a minute. There it is. All right. Instagram, real underscore talk underscore 9ER underscore talk. Twitter, Niner Real, 9ER Real. TikTok, we pop it on TikTok too nowadays. The
Oh,
word
nice. I
real
started doing that
talk,
too.
9ER talk. And then, like I said, YouTube, real talk, Niner talk. So you type that 9 in, we should pop up, man. So I'm happy to be here, man. I appreciate the invite, man.
Yeah, and
Humble,
we
man.
want make sure let's congratulate Kev. Like he got to they got to 5,000 subs on YouTube. It's a big accomplishment, bro.
Hey,
I
man, you know
know.
what? I appreciate it. We appreciate it, and got it out the mud, man. I remember when it was just me and Don. You feel me? And it
Yeah.
was like three people on the show, including me and Don. You know what I'm saying? So just shout out Don, man. You feel me? Shout out
Yeah.
my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Don, Jew. Sersky. Sizzle, Dave. Shout out Real Talk, Nine Talk, man. You see it up there. So man, like
Yeah.
I said, let's talk some football, man. I can
Yeah,
never
for
get enough
sure.
of this. I can never get
For
enough of
sure.
this, man.
Hey, like huge win. Huge win. On Sunday. And I don't think I think we were all a little nervous about the win about that game, and because it was kind of a battle amongst family members almost, and every nobody wants to lose to their family, right?
Right.
So that's the most nervous. Those are some of the most nervous 2K games ever when you playing your
Right.
brother, your cousin. You
With
do not
somebody
want to
you
lose
familiar
that
with.
game.
Yeah. You
So
know.
what did you think were the biggest keys to that win? Because it was, in my opinion, it was a pretty good big win and a big morale booster for the team. But what did you feel were the keys to that victory?
Man, first of all, I'm gonna tell you a real quick, real time story. I stayed home this week and I didn't go to the bar to watch the game. With my bros and with my Niner family. I stayed home and I was watching. Forgot what game it was, bro. But I thought it came on the 125. So
Yeah,
I'm watching the other game. I happened to check one of my Twitter chats and it said get Gibson off the field. I was like, Gibson, oh damn it. And I'm like, hold on, it's on already. So I found the game and we had the ball. We down 7-0. I'm like, damn,
yeah,
already.
yeah. I was like, what?
So I'm like, oh man, here we go. So, Pete, I'm thinking like, oh man, here we go. What I'm saying? Already. So,
Hmm.
I said, let's see how they bounce back. And
Hmm.
then, you see what happened. Jimmy got hurt. And I'm just like, oh, and as much as I be on Jimmy Hillman like a decal, much as we talk about Jimmy, you
Uh-huh.
know, and I'm just like, oh, here come Purdy.
Yeah.
this the wrong game. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? For somebody who unfamiliar, you know what I'm saying? They have to go ahead and take over. But I tell you this, bro. I know it's one game, but I'm like, yo, is that not? It's like a more athletic Jimmy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, to a degree. You know,
Uh-huh.
and there is a play in preseason where he scrambled right, and I happened to catch the play after it started, and I'm like, hold on, when did Jimmy start moving like that? And he threw a strike. I was like, oh, that's Purdy, because Jimmy wasn't even playing yet. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, I thought he wasn't playing, but it was Purdy. So he's had the tools, he's had the mechanics, and you got to think about it. He has to have the biggest damn a chip, Pete. He got a boulder on
I'm
both
saying.
of them.
Yeah, I'm
me?
saying. Yeah.
Pick number 256. I mean,
Mr. Irrelevant.
It's almost like, man, look, we picked you because we had to. You know what I'm saying? So come on.
We had to take somebody.
It's like playground picking. Like, man, come on, man. Look, man. You know the kind of person you say, listen, man, don't get in here be on that nonsense, man. You know what I'm saying? So he did his thing, man. He stood in there, took the blitz, took the rush, and I was surprised. Look, he did so well, bro. They stopped blitzing him. Like, okay, hold on. That's not working. So, hey, if he can play like that and he came off the bench cold,
yeah.
And the defense, I mean, hey man, clap it up for the defense, man. Clap it up for the defense.
Yes, a little bit. Everybody.
I'm a DC, so I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
let's go. So, and the beauty of this offense, and I'm not gonna say it's so easy a caveman can do it, but is we don't need the quarterback to be Pat Mahomes in this system on this team. Just don't turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? So with the defense, the run game coming back alive, we can still make some noise, man. So, and listen, they stepped up to the plate because I really thought we may have an emotional letdown. Maybe not so much the stage was too big, Pete, but like maybe I was hoping Shanahan would not smart herself. And then when Jimmy got hurt, I'm like,
that can happen.
It's like you throw it. Oh man,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
yeah,
but you see what happened, man. So biggest takeaway: this team, the resilience of not just Brock Purdy, but this team. Like it's almost like they was like, oh, Jimmy out. Okay, let's go.
I mean, we used to carrying people. So
hey man, Pete, I don't care if you would have came on the bench on Sunday. They would have been behind you. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Pete.
For sure. For sure.
We got
Hey, yeah, come on. Like it didn't matter. That's the thing about this team is it doesn't matter who it is. Like there's so many weapons and so many good players that like literally it feels like you could stick anybody back there. But I don't want to like kind of look at what Brock Purdy did and say that it was less than, because I will say there was a few plays, especially the one across the middle of the Kittle, that I was just like,
bro.
I was like, okay, bro. I mean, he knew it was coming. He told everybody, hey, like,
right.
It's coming. And like he just hiked it as soon as he could hike it. He just threw it blind. I don't even think he could see Kittle. I think he just threw it to a spot. And like,
let's be honest, in that same situation, most quarterbacks
that'd have been a pit.
Going there, to the other team. You know what I'm saying?
Or a fumble, or just a sack.
I mean, so like I said, man, I know it's one game, Pete. I know it's one game, but that's hell of a one game to start. You feel me? Your journey. So
and
any mobile.
Yeah, I want to bring up like this is the thing, because I heard a lot of stuff after this game about how people comparing him to Mullins and Beathard and saying that, oh well, Kyle has this 9-29 record with everybody but Jimmy. And why couldn't he win if Jimmy's not special? Why couldn't he win with those other guys? Look, they did not have Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle, and Jennings, and CMC, and like all these other people when Mullins was starting. Like half the team was injured when Mullins was like most of the team was injured. So it's just it would have been I think it would have been a different story. Not to say that Mullins is this, that, or the third, but I think that the thing about Brock that really impressed me was the fact that he walked out. As soon as he walked out there, he didn't look nervous. He didn't look nervous. He just said, "Let's go, let's go." And the minute when he got that first touchdown, he acted like this ain't the first. Like it's coming.
Right.
It's coming.
And what's funny was, Pete, along them same lines, it was almost like it was supposed to happen. Like, oh yeah, we ready? All right, and
yeah.
How many times as the quarterback, I forgot who? No, it was Brandon Ayuk. I saw his interview, right? And he said something to the effect of he studies and prepares like he's going to play every week. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, Trey does the same thing, but unfortunately, we see what happened with Trey, right?
Yeah.
So it's just that his opportunity came and he was ready and, he came out healthy. And, bruh, it was just like, yo, like we can win with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to speak to something real quick. And I've said it to the point of nauseum, bro, but you brought it up. And this is no knock on Jimmy as a person. This is just these are facts. Real talk, not a talk. We talk the real talk. Don't pull no punches. No straight, no chaser. And I'm gonna say it like this: this whole narrative about Kyle can't win without Jimmy, and Jimmy, we're 40-19 with him, and 9 and whatever forever without Jimmy. Right? You asked me. It's more about the talent behind him when he's not in versus how good he is when he is playing that has that record like that. And and like you said, he's had tools every time he was starting. But what if Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard and Brian Hoyer? Brian, man, I'm still baffled.
Pierre Garcon. And Marquise Goodwin,
Brian Hoyer, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, like you said, it's the talent that was behind him the whole time. So it was less about how good he was and more about how bad the backups were. But if you give Nick Mullins the talent we have now, he would have did a lot better. Hell, maybe even CJ Beathard. You know what I'm saying? So it's
and the O-line. The O-line was bad.
Well, I mean, it ain't good right now. It's not bad, but
okay. Real quick about the O-line. See, this is, and I get into it people all the time about the O-line. Like, this is the thing. Tell me one team that has a great O-line that is never letting guys get through.
I mean, that's no team. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's today's NFL. That's today's NFL.
Hey, ain't many teams got a Mike McGlinchey who controller died him in the play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not going up on McGinty, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you are right though. But you're right. Every team has their wrinkles in their armor. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I think that they've done I think that they've done not a lot better in pass protection than they have in the past. That's my whole point. Is and Burford was hurt too.
Let's be honest in terms of this whole pass protection thing, this whole pass pro thing. I made 44 this year. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm born and raised in San Francisco. My first words was probably faithful, Niners was red and gold, something like that, because I was born into the empire. So I say that to say I've been watching this team for a very long time, right? And pass pro has never really been the strong suit. We've always had maulers, great run blockers, and maybe average, above average in pass pro. So it's more the same. But you're right. It's not been terrible, but it can get better, So, but to your original point, you give Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard the talent we have now, like it's almost dummy proof to a degree. But the thing about it is, you got to make your layups in this kind of offense. And unfortunately, Jimmy missed way too many layups. I know he hurt, and I don't want to kick him only down, but I'm just speaking the facts.
Yeah.
And just in pressure situations, he missed layups too often. You know what I'm saying? But
absolutely,
Brock Purdy came in a younger, more spry, if you want to call it athletic, Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think Kyle Shanahan is going to do some work with him. I don't think we've seen the best of him just yet. That was just a sample, tape on him or not. just put him in the right situations. And I think we're gonna be okay. But boy, it was a good old fish fry, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
woo!
I mean, but this is the thing. Purdy, how many reps do you think Purdy's gotten with Debo and Ayuk and all those guys? He probably hasn't had many. And this is the thing. He's going to have a whole week now to get the timing down with those guys, because I think on a couple of throws we saw it, he was off just a tick. He was off a tick. Some of those throws were good throws. That the ones that he missed were good throws, and but they were just a little bit off.
Right.
So I think that there's still some things like that he could clean up. Obviously, I mean, he made some mistakes, stepping back into the pocket instead of stepping up. But I think that he's one of those guys, and what it looks like to me is he's one of those guys that wants to learn from every mistake. He looks like one of those guys that's just a gamer, and like to your point earlier is, okay, doubt me, keep doubting me. Right. I'm 7th round, okay. But guess what I'm going to go out here and do? I'm going to go out here, I'm going to run this offense, and then we'll talk after the game.
And you know what, Pete? Again, I was just impressed at how comfortable he looked. Yeah, just coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
It was crazy.
And now, but I will say, early on when he first came in, you could tell Shanahan kind of had the handcuffs on him. Like, okay, but I'm like, Shanny, come on. I'm like, you got to trust him, because if not, you're gonna handcuff him. You're gonna handcuff the team.
He let him throw 37 times.
That right. But again, that was like a ramp up. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to see that Shanahan kind of didn't go pseudo, Shanny, and kind of just, you know what, damn it, let it go. I believe he got to trust his defense and trust Purdy to make the right decisions. And if we think about it, he missed Ayuk on that corner route.
Yeah.
He missed Jennings down the left sideline.
He missed a few.
I don't really think of many plays that he missed.
He airmailed a couple. And a couple of them were on the run. It was really in the beginning when he first came in the game. There's some jitter there, even though he wasn't really showing it. There had to be some kind of jitters there, and he's got to get his timing down. He's got to get in the flow. He admitted it in the press conference. He said it wasn't until he got hit for the first time that he was like, okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. like, this is real. This is not real.
Exactly. But I love that. I love that he said that he had to get popped for him to get into the game. And okay, now it's a game.
You ask any football player, I played ball. I'm sure you played ball in your younger days too. You ask any football player, the game don't start till you get hit. It's just that simple. You're like, whoa, okay, let's go. All right. You know what I'm saying? It's go time. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So, and what I love the most though, bro, if you saw his face after the misses, you could tell he's like,
yeah,
damn it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, he got some moxie to him.
He knows this is his shot. He knows this is his shot. And
Eminem say, you only get one shot.
Exactly. You better be ready. And I feel like Purdy was ready for the moment. He did his thing. And I think that and I think that you could see in the press conference, again, not to go back to that, but he was trying to hold back his excitement, because he kept trying to go back to I really feel bad for Jimmy and all the other stuff, but you could see it in his face that he wanted to just say something. Now,
what? I mean, man, his celebration after the first touchdown, you can tell he was like, yeah, I'm saying, and he deserves that, bro. He deserves that feeling of elation, that jubilation. Like, man, I just do my first NFL touchdown, and I was washing cars last week.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not literally, you know what I'm saying? But know,
because he was on the team. He was on the team. They didn't get.
he didn't plan. Look, he didn't plan to go in. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So it was like, hey, Brock, huh? What?
He was about to start a podcast. He needed side work.
Yeah, he was on YouTube last week. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do shows.
But
yeah, man, let's go, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, it was so with Brock. They were talking about a lot of the talk was the last yesterday, all day yesterday. Everybody was talking about who will the 49ers, do you think the 49ers are going to bring in to either back up Purdy or like to eventually replace him? But then they came out with the news today that, Jimmy's injury, he doesn't even need surgery, and it's just 7 to 8 weeks now. And that he could be back by I think they said the divisional round is like is tentative, is being like the probably generous. Like, but do you think that they bring, if Brock is playing well, and because Brock could absolutely lay an egg on the next game, like, and then we're right back to can't wait till Jimmy comes back. But like if Brock is playing well, do you think they switch it up at that point, or do you think that Shanny wants to ride the hot hand? Because I think Shanny has a little bit of confidence in Purdy. I could tell just by the game plan that he was running that he trusted Brock to make those throws that he was asking him to make. But how do you feel about it?
Most definitely. As far as your last point about his trust in Brock and everything, I see it like this, bro. And again, this is not a dump on Jimmy session, but Jimmy and postseason hasn't really been the best combination. You know what I'm saying? So somebody saying, "Oh, Jimmy might be back for the playoffs." I'm like, have you seen Jimmy in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
You know,
I mean, why is that a plus?
You know, right? Like, why are you happy about that? Like, I mean, have you seen his numbers in the playoffs? Yeah, I did, man. I did, Izzy, and I appreciate your comment. Izzy's so cool, man. I love Izzy, man. Like she's the greatest, man. She be
sure.
anyway,
She is somehow in everybody's comments.
Yeah, but back to your question though, tennis trash. But back to your point, you made me cry, Izzy, man. But back to your point, there's no way, bro. If Purdy is still playing pretty well, you know what I'm saying? When when Jimmy comes back, Jimmy would just be insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about like Allstate State Farmers. I'm talking like the general type insurance. In the event he comes back.
He's got that as seen on TV insurance.
Right. So man, let Purdy cook, and listen. We've seen how Jimmy plays when he's hurt or when he's rushed back from injury. The playoffs is not the time for experiments. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Brock is one, but I'd rather a Brock healthy experiment than a hurt or recovering Jimmy experiment in the playoffs. So give Brock some time, to jail and let him do his thing. The players are behind him. You know what I'm saying? So the defense is behind him. Man, let's see what we got.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I think that they just need to rock with, but everybody was talking about Baker Mayfield, and we saw today that he went to the Rams. Like that they were the only person. I don't know if you saw it. They were the only team that put in a waiver for Baker. I think everybody thought he was going to fall through waivers, and then he would have a chance to sign.
You know what that was about.
Yeah, like, I said the same thing. No, but people on Twitter, people came at me like, oh no, I don't think that's what it is. And I said,
season's over, bro. And I'm telling you right now,
no reason. They had no reason to go out and get him.
Baker Mayfield for the future. They did that despite the Niners, man. Like, come on, bro.
I mean, to me, it's obvious. Like, to me, it was obvious.
I'm not the biggest Baker fan, but we do need somebody, especially with the injury history at quarterback. We do need somebody behind Brock. And what's a boy named Eason? His daddy wasn't good, or granddaddy, whoever was uncle. I'm saying, I think there's some relation, right? You know what I'm saying? The old coach quarterback.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we need, but we got Josh Johnson, and and he's been a journeyman. Hell, he played for us and played,
a couple times.
Well in spots. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we'll be okay so long as they keep Purdy upright, man. And just for the record, in the event that they brought Trey back, I would still say keep him on ice only if, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to rush Trey back either. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I'm with you on that.
By all means. So just anybody watching saying, well, if it was Trey, you wouldn't say that. No, I don't want to rush Trey back either. Especially if Purdy playing well. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'd rather see Mitchell come back and do his thing, knowing what he gonna contribute. So hey man, Brock, if you're watching, you should end up seeing this. Hey, we got you, Brock. Let's go.
Yeah, like I think that after winning cures all. It doesn't. I mean, that's why Jimmy has the fan base that he has, is because it doesn't even matter his subpar play and like that kind of stuff, because we would eventually get the win. We got a lot of wins, and that's why he has the following that he does. But so when you get the win, like Brock, like now that you started off winning, I mean, the 49er fan base is going to be behind you. I mean, they already got him over Trey. Like,
yeah, right.
If you watch Twitter today, like they're already planning on making him the franchise guy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a competition in camp and all the other stuff. Like, come on, y'all. Like, it gets a little ridiculous sometimes, but I get it. People get excited, and Purdy played well. I mean, but people are getting excited because he played well, and I'm interested to see once Tampa Bay looks at the tape of this game. They know that all out blitzing is not going to work. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of coverage, disguising coverage and that kind of stuff that they try out in this game. I'm really interested to see how that works out, because they do have a solid defense. So
Pete, bro, what you just said, that speaks volumes. The fact that he did so well versus the blitz and pressure, they was like, okay, let's
throw that out.
Let's do something else. Right. So they couldn't rattle him. And so think about it. If teams do, opt to play coverage or, man zone, whatever it is, and not put pressure on him, he has more time to find an outlet. Hey, CMC, you out there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Debo, you out there somewhere. I mean, so man, look, the fact that Mike McDaniel and whoever their DC is over there decided, okay, maybe blitzing this guy isn't the best idea. Mr. Irrelevant or not, Mr. Irrelevant, like somebody said in the comments, hey, Bebop, hey, is Mr. Relevant now? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, he went from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Relevant in 2.5 seconds, didn't he?
For sure.
So,
for sure.
And I don't know why he dropped like that. Maybe his size, but he's not a bad quarterback, bro.
It's his size. It's his size, and like honestly, the draft is all about measurables. And so he's listed at 6'1". I think he's probably like 6 feet, and and he's not tall. I don't think they considered him a mobile quarterback. Like, I think that was a big thing, is that even though they're not going to be running RPOs and like QB keepers with him. Like, so every team nowadays is looking for that either stereotypical like pocket passer that's got a cannon for an arm. Like, Purdy doesn't check any of those boxes. He's just he's not tall. He doesn't have a cannon, and he's not running like a 4.4 or even probably a 4.5. Like, but he's mobile enough. And
right.
And he has what I've seen out of the last game, he has great pocket awareness. And that's more important. And I don't even want to bring Brady up, but but Brady has gotten by no athleticism whatsoever.
Your Sunday time. Okay.
Yeah. No athleticism whatsoever. But the dude knows how to move in the pocket, and that can be just as good as being mobile. So
I'm gonna say that to that point. I'm gonna say this like this. He had free rushers a couple times and got around them. You know what I'm saying? To escape to outside the pocket. And I don't know if you play Madden or you played Madden back in the day, but remember sometimes on Madden, once the play starts in the pass play, you might have a free rusher and you hit the turbo button to try to get outside. Yeah. Certain quarterbacks, you hit the turbo button, it seemed like they don't move. Right. But so he had enough turbo to get outside and still deliver a dime. So he has the ingredients, and I want to take one real quick moment. Shout out my real talk brother Dave. A couple shows ago, Dave did say, Purdy, and I'd rather have Purdy than Jimmy. We laughed at him, we called him crazy, right?
Yeah.
Look, Dave, bro, I don't know if you had a genie or something, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you guys looking pretty good, man. and nobody saw this coming. You know what I'm saying? But you did
Nobody.
call that. So again, as long as he keeps playing like this, man, and keeps getting better, and he can extend plays, that's the best part.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
and like so I was watching Brad Graham's Instagram before we came on, and he was breaking down some tape, and he was just he was talking about how impressed he was with the play you were talking about where he spun out of the pressure, and Brad slowed it down, and he showed everybody where Purdy, you could see that he knew that the pressure was coming. He literally waited a full second for him to come a little bit closer, just so that he could take away the angle.
Right.
And he did it a few times. Brad was showing it that he did it a few times. So just that amount of pocket awareness and being able to read, I think, read the defense and what the defense was going to do. I think that is something that we haven't had for that we've been begging for from Jimmy. So I thought that's an underrated trait.
Hey, listen, the strike he threw to Kittle with a man in his face and took a look in the chops and delivered.
Knew he was going to get hit.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I
knew he
mean,
was going to get hit.
Bro, I mean, listen, it's hard to do anything in life knowing it's about to happen. Like, I can't, I'm finna slap you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he was like, all right, this is whatever. And
Yeah.
he drew him in and he, dime, threw a dot. And that extended the drive on third down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, hey, man, look, you got a little sidearm in him too. Man, I mean, hey, man, listen.
Yeah, that was crazy. On the run with the little sidearm.
Now, check this out. And I know I'm speaking ahead of time right now, but they were saying before when Trey started the season, no rookie quarterback has ever won the Super Bowl, which is correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how crazy would it be for the Mr. Irrelevant rookie quarterback to, you know what I'm saying, get to and win the Super Bowl? Like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, they were talking about that on ESPN I think it was yesterday, right after the game. And I don't really watch ESPN that much anymore, but I wanted to see specifically what they were saying, what the national media was saying, and they were talking about just what you were just talking about. How they were saying that they have to move on from Purdy because this is a Super Bowl roster, and it's never been done. Like a rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, like all the other stuff. But my thought process is this: how many quarterbacks coming in at week 14 have gone to a Super Bowl roster and won a Super Bowl? None.
Right.
None.
0.
So what are we talking about? Either way, we doing something that's never been done. So you might as well rock with the guy that's been here and knows the offense, and Kyle obviously trusts. I don't think that there's a reason to bring in more competition that the fans are just going to be like, okay, no, Purdy got to go. Purdy got to go. Give him a chance to make it. He's going to make some mistakes. Give him a chance. But
hey, man, I don't know if you see this, man, but man, Melissa and B about in the comments,
they just going at it,
and they got some pretty good points too. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, for sure. And I want to make sure I mention everybody in the chat, like Melissa, Cowboy. I saw Raphael in here earlier, and then there was a couple other people. Jesus, but I appreciate you guys coming in. Appreciate you keeping the chat room clicking, and yeah, all you guys are having good comments, good banter back and forth. I love it.
Man.
But I want to move on to the running backs, because did you what do you think of the running back, the way that Kyle is using the two of these guys? Because you got CMC, you got Jordan Mason. Those are the only two backs he used. But what do you feel about their usage? Do you think that he should be using them in a different way?
I've said this for a while, and I'm sure I'm probably gonna echo and read some people's minds. Excuse me, but I'm like, Kyle, why do you keep running in between the tackles like that, man? I mean, you see they stuff in the middle, and they're pitching the ends. So I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, run some misdirections, some outside zone or something. I mean, because it ain't nothing more frustrating. Well, it's one thing more frustrating, but as far as the run game, you just keep trying to pound the ball up the middle. We're not getting it. You got McCaffrey running to the back of his O lineman or Mason. It's hard to see run. I'm like, man, get outside some. And I don't mean that pitch play either that get caught in the backfield most times.
Yeah.
And for Christ's sakes, run left. Why you doing this to the right? And why you doing this to the short side of the field? I'm like, God, man, for all things holy. Come on, bro.
You said it. You said exactly what I was thinking about the outside zone. Outside zone is really where we brought up, like, that was our identity for like what, 3 seasons, and he just completely went away from it. Like and people have been making excuses for Kyle going away from it, like saying, "Oh, well, we don't have the backs that can take advantage. Like they're not fast enough." And like that kind of stuff. Was Tevin Coleman super fast? I don't think he was super fast.
No. He wasn't. He isn't now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, listen. I've coached, but not in the NFL. But I'll tell you one thing: I'm not trying to pound the rock in the middle like that, knowing we getting 1 to 2 yards, if that, every time. And at least run the play action or something. I'm like, come on. And something else, Pete, that drives me crazy, man. And it's not just our team, but our team is the only one that matters. It's the only team I root for, I cheer for. But for Christ's sakes, when it's 3rd and 1, why are we in shotgun?
Yeah.
Get on the center. It drives me crazy. Like, oh, here we go, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Somebody
was saying that Jimmy is not comfortable under center. So that's why they were always running out of the shotgun. Like, and he needs to be able to see what's in front of him. And like, I didn't think of it, because you notice they went to more when Brock came in. You saw some I formation. They started. You started seeing some I formation,
right?
And like, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, Kyle, like get him under center.
But here's a news flash: you can run stretch plays from under center.
Yeah, and we used to.
You can run Mr. Right. So I'm like, why are we third? It's 3rd and 1. Why are we in shotgun?
Yeah,
I can't seriously.
And CMC
on the goal line,
and with CMC on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, like those are prime time Jordan Mason carries, in my estimation.
Yes. Like, let him pound the rock.
Like I don't know if he's just trying, and I've talked about this before on past shows ad nauseum. Like, I don't know if he's trying to like hide Jordan Mason until the playoffs, or what we're doing. But the guy, he's averaging 6 yards a carry for the whole season. Like every time he touches the ball, he's getting plus yards.
Yeah.
It just I'm not understanding what the deal is. Why I know he has some special teams value and like all that kind of stuff, but I mean, I just think at a certain point you got to go with we always talk about hot hand. Well, I mean, Jordan Mason got, I mean, his hands are burning. Like, I mean, they're on fire.
Yeah.
Like, so where is that? Where is that, Kyle? And like, but I don't know. How do you feel about Jordan Mason?
Hey, man, listen, I'm a fan. I've been a fan. Like, before Mitchell got hurt, before CMC came, I'm like, hey, where's Mason? Even before TDP, he run harder than TDP. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, come on, man. Hey, get aboard a rock.
TDP is just as big as he is too. I don't understand why he doesn't have that same aggression. But
bro, it's the play calling just be so frustrating sometimes, man. Like, matter of fact, the play he called, Pete, I think it was like 3rd and short or something. And matter of fact, because of him, Robbie Gold field goal was a lot longer than it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He ran some kind of play where he wanted to fake the dive and I'm like, what was, man, stop. You're getting cute, Kyle. You're getting cute.
Yeah.
Stop getting cute.
It's exactly what Melissa said. It's just Kyle always thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. And like, and he sometimes simple is just better.
Man, look.
And we just constantly wait for him just to make the obvious decision, and he won't make the obvious call.
You know, if someone's like, he's like, I'm gonna do what they'll never see this coming. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
they would never run that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because it's stupid.
Right. I've said this before. Kyle's the kind of person that'd rather be wrong his way than right somebody else's.
It's ego.
A classic narcissist. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, it's like sometimes Kyle playing Madden and he accidentally hit the Ask Madden button. Like, wait a minute. Was that did you call it on purpose?
I mean, but even with Ask Madden, they give you choices.
Man, look, back in the day, you hit Ask Madden, it might be third and short, and you're gonna see a double reverse on the screen.
That's true. That's true. I've been playing Madden since the computer day, like the first one on computer. So like it's no, you never knew what was going to come out of that.
Like I said, man, it's the plays you be like, oh, they'll never see this coming. Yeah, because it's stupid.
Because nobody would ever do that.
A halfback pass on second and two, really?
And so this is a good question for you, because I know you probably feel the same way I do as on this, is why on second down, second and short, do we never call play action? Ever.
Man, look.
Like I'll be sitting there watching the game, and I tell my wife, I'm like, okay, this would be a good time for some play action right here.
Man, listen, I'm telling you, bro, when I was playing Madden in my heyday, I run on first down. If I ran on first down, I'm going to play action on second down. Even if I wasn't successful with the run on first down, it's almost like that free moment playing baseball, like swing away, man. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you want, green light. It's second down, and so
that's what I'm saying.
And most teams are expecting you to run the ball, especially if you're a running team. And I'm like, man, but you said it earlier. You answered the question. Jimmy wasn't really comfortable in play action, but what's crazy was when he first got here, he was killing it in play action. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, here, this is where what I've said also in the past comes into play. And I know Bashar not in here, but Bashar live every time I say this. Jimmy Garoppolo is not the most cerebral quarterback. He's not from the shoulders up. He's all looks. He's not really a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? Let the women tell it. So my thing is, when you run play action, not only it's like pre-snap twice, because not only you got to dissect pre-snap. Now when you go play action, you got to hope that the people that were there in the same spot before you turned your back are in the same spot or open spots when you come out that play action. So I don't know if Jimmy has that processing element or not, but maybe that's why. So maybe now, Pete, maybe now we may see some second down play actions. But play action is your friend.
That's the thing. Second and short, like that, it opens the playbook up for everything, just because the defense has to guard against both, and they can't like go all out against the run. They can't go all out against the pass. They have to play almost base. So that's the whole point. Like that's the whole point of getting second.
What we do? Oh no, I'm gonna tell you what drives me even more crazy.
Yeah.
Aside from not going play action on second down, especially second and short, when we come out and then we go empty.
Oh, gee.
Like, oh, man, really? We gonna go empty? And I'm telling you, every time we go empty with Jimmy, I cringe.
It's going to be a little bit. I think that is going to go a little bit differently with Purdy, like, because I think we can trust Purdy to I feel like he's going to make the right decisions. I don't think that he's the type to push like Jimmy. Jimmy,
in terms of Purdy, and I know he's a Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft, but what people are not realizing is, and I'm a Trey fan, Trey area, all that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got 5 on and all that, right? But my thing is, Purdy was a 4-year starter. So, Purdy has a lot more experience than Trey did.
Mm-hmm.
So Purdy has seen a lot more at a higher level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not knocking Trey at all because I'm a Trey fan, but my point is he's kind of prepared for a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? So experience factor and things of that nature. And I know it's a different level, but he's more experienced. So, hey man, I can't wait to see what he called. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Moving
Especially
forward,
when he has trust in the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I just, man, Trey, as far as Trey goes, I just wish they would give him these types of game plans and not make him run. He's not I know that he's athletic. We know that he's athletic. Every athletic guy doesn't know how to run, like how to run the ball, like a running back style. Like, so why? So you have to recognize that as a coach and put him in the best position. And for Trey, I feel like the best position, we saw it against the Texans, is to give him that Jimmy game script. Same thing they did to Purdy, and let him run out of trouble.
Look,
and just scramble, get his yards scrambling. Like
I wrote an article last season in which I said, and I'm trying to remember what I said, but I'm gonna paraphrase myself. But I said, listen, I know
real quick before you go, like, I gotta say what's up to my mom. She came in here. What's up, Mom? Like, so she just wanted, where's the Niner owners and watching these plays?
Great question, Mom.
Yeah,
that's what we want to know.
Yeah.
So like I said in one of my articles I wrote for SI, I said, I understand Trey Lance is an athletic quarterback, but don't make him a slave to his legs. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like you put him in a box, and that's exactly how he got hurt. You don't have to run read option because he can run. And granted, had he gave the ball, gave it to the running back on that play versus keeping it, he wouldn't have got hurt. But that you run the risk of things like that when you get too locked in and have that tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. But that's the point, is that, and everybody's going to come up with the stats of, most guys get hurt in the pocket and like all that other stuff. Well, not this time. Not this time. This time it happened while he was trying to run. And he's not that type of quarterback. I just don't think he's that type of quarterback. He doesn't feel comfortable doing it. It just doesn't look comfortable when he does it.
Right, like the design runs. I think he's kind of like an impromptu.
Yeah, he's just a scramble guy. He can scramble out of trouble and he can get yards that way. But he's not the type to sit there and for you just to be designing right. He's not Lamar Jackson
at all. At all. And granted, that when he got hurt, it was a fluke play. Because initially, I thought he had a concussion or something at first. Until I looked at his foot, like, ooh. Hey, his foot ain't supposed to look like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh man, and man.
I do want to mention, like, so Melissa brought up a really good point, and I heard Grant say this the other day, to bring this up too, was that when Trey got hurt, like, it seemed like there were some guys in the locker room that were just like, okay, well, we go move on now. And to her point about Juice making the comment like, oh, now we can get back to Niner football and like all this other stuff. How do you like, do you think that this locker room is completely behind Purdy? Do you think that there may be some guys that are still going, even if Purdy plays well, they're going to want Jimmy back in there?
That's a tough question, man. But my thing is, if there are guys like that, I got some land in Saskatchewan that I can sell you. I got the numbers to the Silverado. To the Mega Millions.
I need those. I need those.
You're right. My thing is, look, man. Right now is what's important. Right now, Brock Purdy is the quarterback. Right now, Brock Purdy is playing well. Right now, he's our QB1. So, and you can't wait for somebody to get back. Even with Trey, listen, if you don't win next week, it's gonna hurt the future. If you don't win the week after that, it's gonna hurt the future. So you can't wait. Let's do what we got to do right now. Win this game to get to the next game. And if Purdy's playing great, so be it. If it was Jimmy still playing great, Hey
Yeah.
man, look, okay, let's go. But damn it, all that got your faith in some man. Listen, Jimmy ain't come back to that door no time soon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't care
So
how
Purdy,
much
you got 7 weeks. You got
you know what
7
I'm
weeks
saying.
to impress some people and to get your cadence down because that's what everybody says Jimmy's strength is. But so a little bit about the receivers because we haven't talked about the receivers yet. So CMC got the most receptions. I believe he had 8 receptions, and he had a couple of drops. So he really had I think he had 10 targets. And which receiver do you think it hurts the most having Purdy start?
You know what? I don't to say which receiver it would hurt for that receiver will be selfish because I don't think it hurts nobody. Because I was gonna say when you were talking about something just now, he targeted Debo a lot. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, Debo didn't get targeted as a receiver a lot at all with Jimmy back there. If it wasn't like a smoke screen, a bubble screen, or something like that. So listen. Purdy's favorite receiver is the open receiver. That's the kind of quarterback you need. Trey's favorite receiver was the open receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Jimmy has his favorites. And like I've also said in the past as well, if Kyle was in the headset, like, hey, get the ball to Kittle.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the ball to Kittle, even if he triple cover, I said get the ball to Kittle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, but he wasn't open, coach. But
yeah,
Kyle don't care about that. Kyle care about what he said. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think Purdy is going to spread the ball around. And actually, I think it may benefit. I think Debo may benefit the most because most teams don't expect him to be a valid option in routes like that unless it's behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. And I think
people think Debo isn't a good route runner. Debo, especially his off the line, his release is nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's not the tallest, so he's not going to win 20, 50 balls. But
he does get lazy with his routes sometimes. But
he can.
But I see what they're saying. But I think that sometimes if he knows the play isn't designed towards him, yeah, he can get a little bit lazy. But Ayuk had the same problem, I would say, early on. But lately, I want to say after week 3 or 4, whoo, Ayuk just burning people to death off the line.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. In my much smaller days when I played receiver, I learned the hard way that not running your route full speed if you're not the primary target can hurt you. Because there's been a couple times I was running my route lazy and oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He threw it to me. You know what I'm saying? So if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So and not just that, if you know you're not the number one target, so receivers out there or aspiring receivers, listen up, take notes. You run your route like you're getting the ball every time. That way, your DB, the person in front of you, it's one less person to worry about for whoever is getting the ball. It's one less person in the play. So you run your route like you're getting the ball every time. It's the energy you come out the line of scrimmage with that's going to dictate if your man sees you as a threat or not.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of agree with Melissa in a sense. She said Debo. I agree with her in a sense, but I think that it's going to affect the way that the teams kind of cover it's going to have to, because if you looked at that Purdy was throwing it all over the place.
Yeah.
There was no single spot he was going to, no single guy he was keying on, and I think that is what's going to hurt Debo, is because he's used to just being fed the ball, and which they haven't really done a good job of this season, at all. But it's still, I think that's what he is expecting. I think it's going to hurt his target share, but I think it may help him by the playoff time, because teams won't be able to just key. Oh well, Debo's over here, so we just gonna roll coverage. I think that they're going to have to guard both sides, because I think it's going to let Ayuk. You see, Ayuk is super excited.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you a secret. It's not really a secret, but notice something. Debo gets more attention when he's in the backfield than he does when he's out at the receiver spot. So now is a good time to try to get the ball to him. And again, don't try to force it to him, But my point is, most teams expect him to get a bubble screen or a smoke screen or some type of jet sweep. So, hey man, use all that to your benefit. And Purdy is gonna spread the ball around. I mean, he had targets to Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, McCaffrey, Juice, Jennings. I mean, I think everybody caught a pass or at least had a target. You know what I'm saying? Oh, not Warner, but Croft. He even hit Croft.
Yeah, he hit Croft.
You know what I'm saying?
Croft is like, oh, okay, we passed it to me today. Okay. But
right. And look, as I said that, Melissa said that too. I love seeing Tyler Croft targeted. Yeah. If he open, you're gonna get the ball.
That's the thing. We got all these weapons. You just go down the line and somebody's open. Somebody is open. So I loved it. I loved it. Like it was good to see everybody just get a piece. And I think that's why the team itself was so excited, because I think that a majority of these plays that Kyle runs are meant to spread the ball around. And I don't think that Jimmy always saw it that way. And I think that sometimes he would just key in on his certain guys or who he thought Kyle wanted him to go to. But
I'm about to correct you. If Jimmy is locked in on somebody, that's because Kyle said go there.
Yeah, you sound exactly like me. And people kept telling me that I was wrong. But you sound exactly like me. Because I always had the conspiracy theory that Kyle was telling him exactly where to go with the ball, and he had to throw it to that guy, and that's why he would sit in the pocket holding the ball and be confused when the guy wasn't open. Because Kyle said this guy's gonna be open. You better get it to him. And Jimmy's like, oh my God, he's not open. I'm gonna throw a pick, but I'm gonna throw it anyway.
While there has been many plays like I'm about to tell you about, the one play that showed you that was a play last year in Tennessee. He forced the ball to Kittle. Kittle was never open, bro. I don't give a damn what Kyle said to you. He was gonna be open. He was Kyle. He was never open, Kyle. And he watched him not be open and still threw it to him.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's just whenever you see Jimmy do this, that means his brain is just trying to compute. You're like, Kyle said to do this, but it's going to be a pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Melissa, I hear you. The worst doghouse in the planet is to be in Channy's doghouse, and that's probably part of the reason why they felt so much pressure to do things the way Kyle wants. But I don't think Kyle's going to argue if you end up with a big game, and I just think that you have to do the right thing for the offense. I don't care what Kyle says. But
you know what? Somebody, Raphael, just asked a question, right? And are we going to add TDP? Here's something I like to see, Pete, and especially with teams knowing our DNA and things like that. Why not, with Mason in the game, most times they're knowing we're going to run the ball, why not go play action with Mason in the game?
Yeah.
I mean, go play action. I'm sure he can catch out the backfield too. He has.
He has.
So, I mean, just stop being so predictable. It reminds me of, listen, I'm 44, bro, so I'm not sure how old you are.
Oh, I'm 45. I'm older than
you. Right. Okay. You look older than me. You know what I'm saying? So we OGs, right? So remember the USC Texas game?
Mm-hmm.
It was, I forgot, it was 3rd and short or 4th and short.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie Bush ran off. Lindell White ran on.
Mm-hmm.
What they do? Give it up the gut to Lindell White, and what happened? They got stuffed. Why? Because Reggie out the game. Here come Lindell White. I wonder what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's true. Especially Reggie, when you got Reggie Bush, especially Reggie Bush, USC Reggie Bush.
Right. My point is, Reggie ran off. Lindell ran on. It's 4th and short or 3rd and short.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do. I mean, duh. He's gonna pound it between the A and B gap. I mean,
yeah, no, I feel you on that. But sometimes we get the same, but sometimes we want them to do the obvious thing, because Kyle, I think, too much does the not obvious thing. I think he just has bad timing. He sometimes he just has bad timing. Like because he can be predictable. He can be really predictable at times, and then other times you're like, "What? Wait a minute. Why is Juice getting the ball right now?" Like, it's just, yeah. I think he just has. He just doesn't understand sometimes. I think it's a learning process for him. He's in his fifth year of coaching, head coaching.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Andy Reid. How long did it take Andy Reid to get his first Super Bowl?
I want to lie to you. A long time.
It was 21 years. Like, so I don't think Kyle is going to be around for 21 years if he doesn't get a Super Bowl. I don't know if that's the way that the league works now, but my point is that Andy Reid's been considered an offensive genius forever. But the
Right.
knock on him when he was in Philadelphia, what was the knock on him? He won't run the ball. Even though they had all these good running backs, he was constantly trying to pass. And like, so it's the same thing. I think some of these guys
And
just think they're
he's
too
still pass
smart.
happy. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but he got Mahomes.
But I mean,
So
he got
I can't
Mahomes.
blame
Like,
him.
yeah, I mean, McNabb was good. McNabb was good. I liked McNabb, but anyway, it's not
Hey,
that
answer
type
your
of show.
question real quick, Pete. Melissa, am I a Chargers fan? No, I'm a football fan, and that was the best scenario I could have gave for knowing
Yeah.
what's coming based upon personnel. Like I said, Reggie Bush run off, and Linda White come on. You need 1 yard. Wonder what they're gonna do. They're not gonna run verticals.
Yeah, no,
You
definitely
know what
not.
I'm saying? I mean, just
So real quick, like I want to give the defense their love because that's my favorite part of the team. I know you
man, me
can't
and you
tell because
both.
we've been talking about
Oh,
Purdy, like,
you both.
but they balled out, and like, and I think people can get it misconstrued because we saw a bunch of open receivers everywhere, and Tua missed some throws. But the defense balled out. Like they were, I said before the game that they were going to probably give up 2 fluke
Oh,
plays, and
hey,
that's exactly what happened.
Pete, give me 1 second. My
Oh,
son at the door. I gotta let my son in. So give me 1
gotcha.
second. All
Feel
right.
you.
1 second.
But so I'm going to keep going like with my point. Like they had the defense just had like so many. They just had so many good plays, and the reason why Tua had such a hard time was because first off he's short. Second off, it was hard for him to see over the trees. Like so, second off, he doesn't have a cannon for an arm to get himself. He's mobile, but he's not that type of mobile. And we've got beasts on the defensive line, so I think he already had made up in his mind that he was going to have a hard time because he was missing his two left. He was missing his 2 tackles. He's missing his 2 starting tackles, so he had to be looking at the situation just like, oh my God, I'm gonna be running for my life this whole game. And I don't know what like how I'm gonna get this ball off to the open guy if I don't know where the rush is coming from. So but the defense, I want to give the defense kudos because it could have been much worse. To their credit, Waddle only got 1 catch for 9 yards. And this is like a top receiving duo in the league. So Hill did his thing. Hill did his thing, and he's gonna do his thing. And but the fact that they kept Waddle at bay and most of the other receivers they kept at bay. But I loved watching back when I watched the game the second time. I loved watching how they were kind of moving. They played a lot of zone, but which you had to play when you got to Hill and Waddle on the field. But they were moving guys in and out of the zone, like from top to bottom, and it had to be confusing too because thinking that somebody's open and then all of a sudden them not being open because you didn't know which way they were going to roll the coverage. I thought it was a masterclass by D'Amico Ryans. I thought he learned a lot from the Chiefs game, and it looked to me like he was ready. He was ready for whatever they had to dish out. Remember, the 2 touchdowns that they got, they were fluke plays. They were blown coverages, and
Yes.
both times,
Well,
like the Sherfield. I mean, Sean Gibson just took
bad angle.
bad angle. And like and then the second one, I mean, Huff was typical Huff. He was
being
being
greedy.
aggressive. Yeah, he was
Right,
being
being
aggressive,
greedy.
and he thought he was gonna bite. He bit a little bit too early. So it is
But you
what
know
it
what?
is.
As a DC, bro, that play with Huff, it baffles me as much. And it was the same receiver in the Super Bowl. How you Emmanuel Mosley, rest up, heal up. How you Emmanuel Mosley in your cover 3 drop,
Yeah,
you decide to jump on the underneath route when
yeah,
Tariq Hill. Hey Tariq, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is you doing? No,
yeah,
you carry him. That's
yeah,
Tariq. So just like Huff on Sunday, he saw the underneath route. Oh, hey Tariq. I'm like, what? So
yeah,
how do you honor and respect the guy in front of you and Tariq finna run by you? And you can
yeah.
tell by the way Mooney was playing the coverage. He playing that cover 3 drop outside shade, and then
Yep.
breaking the middle, help in the middle. So hey, Huff, you a hell of a player, Huff, but just
Yeah.
you gotta cut
Immediately,
down on
D'Amico
those
took him
hands.
aside. You could say showed it on TV. They took him aside. Hey,
Like,
hey,
hey, man, listen,
like I mean, like we love you, we love
right,
you. Like, you doing what you're doing, but just when Tariq is on the field, like I mean,
right.
come on, like
I just don't get how, unless Jesus run across your face, I don't see how you let Tariq Hill run past you. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
come
yeah,
on, Huff, baby.
yeah.
And I
You
forget
gotta be
what the down and
cognizant.
distance was.
Yeah, you
Now
got to be
I
cognizant
can
that
kind
it's
of understand
always
it. Maybe if the crosser was at the sticks, but even then, come on. And on that play, he was a deep safety. That was
yeah.
his
That's what I'm
responsibility.
saying. Is I think he was reading Tua's eyes, and Tua's been known he does great with his eyes. Like he's been known to kind of look safeties off
What's up, Corey?
and then go deep. Like
You know, you know what it is though, Pete. Playing safety, you're taught to read 2 to 1. But if Tariq Hill was the one, you kind of want to read, you know, 1 to 2. You know what I'm saying? Especially if one's going vertical.
yeah,
But hey, like I said, it happened. It didn't hurt as bad as it should have, or it could have. But that was the one blunders.
I'm
So
glad it happened in the regular season.
so
Like
hey, so the score could have been 33. What the 3?
yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
think about
realistically speaking, it could have been like
it? Yeah,
and it's yeah. But I thought the defense played great. Like the defense,
bruh. Listen,
Bosa, Bosa,
over 7 on third was it over 7 on third down, bro. You hold the Dolphins with all that speed
yeah.
to no third down conversions.
And what did they talk about before the game? Like they talked about our defense's inability to hold guys on third and short and like all the other stuff. But like you said, 0 for 7. 0 for
Hey,
7 on third down.
and clap it up for Armstead.
Yes.
what a
He
difference Armstead makes.
he
You know what
didn't
I'm
fill
saying?
up the stat sheet, but
Bruh.
his presence and
Yes.
it was just his presence and being big in the middle was huge for
Listen,
that line.
I don't care who you are at edge rusher. Nick Bosa, uh, Parsons, anybody. The best asset to an edge rusher is an interior D line
Mhm.
because that frees you up a whole lot. And how ironic is it? Nick Bosa has a 3-sack game. The first game Armstead's back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So
that interior pressure, like he was pushing that middle, and like when you push on the middle, like they gotta help. Like they've gotta help.
inside out is what old linemen taught. Inside out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So yeah, man.
and Bosa, like I mean, that one, like that it was on the twist and he came up the middle like clean.
Oh man, he came free, didn't he? I'm
Like,
talking
and I
about.
was just like, oh my God, like right into his chest. It was great. It was
It's
great.
almost like when he hit that loop and started running straight. That's your
Yeah.
ass, Mr. Postman.
Yeah.
Hey, bruh, that shit was beautiful.
Yeah,
Hey,
for sure. I
D'Amico,
loved it.
man.
Yeah, you got to give D'Amico all his credit. Like I love the way D'Amico gets. We all used to love the way would get fired up on the sideline, but I mean D'Amico gets a different kind of fired up, and I think he's a little bit more athletic than Salah. So
Right.
he be doing them super kicks and like,
Oh, bro. Hey, bro, I love it, man.
yeah, I
As a
love
DC
watching D'Amico.
man, it's at the
But that's
moment.
why they got to get it done this year. That's why they got to get the
Because
ring this year because we
he
do.
gone.
I want D'Amico to get one, like because he's not going to go to a good team. This might
Now,
be.
you know what? Now, this is the very off chance. This is a severely off chance, right? But what if D'Amico just enjoys being calling defenses? Because some people really don't want to be a head coach, and I know people say this is NFL. The coup de grace is being a HC. But what if he just breathes defense like that? Like, you know what? I like what I'm doing here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
just like Kasuric.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I know he's going to get all umpteen calls, but hey, I'm praying that he say, you know what? Hey, listen, I appreciate the head coach opportunity, but I like calling defense and for this team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not holding out hope that doesn't happen. But chances are he's going to be gone.
That would be I mean, I can't even. My heart won't let me go there, like because I feel like you set me up for some humongous disappointment, and you're gonna make me cry when he leaves, like because I'm gonna be like, no, you go stay, like we'll keep you here, and like we'll do this, and this, and then now I could totally see them offering him a raise. But I honestly think that Kyle wants him to go and I think he wants all of his coaches to go and get their head coach jobs.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I get it. And that's most likely what's going to happen. He's going to get, offered a job or, they make him an offer he can't refuse and, we're going to lose him. But I'm just saying, hey, listen, Izzy, you never know. And I'm not trying to set you up for failure or set you up for disappointment. That's just Kev, wishful thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just made like me, for example, I got offers to go to high school and be a head coach. I'm like, nah, I like calling the defense, baby. Granted, I wasn't getting offered millions of dollars, but just what I'm saying. I like calling defense. That's I don't want a head coach too much stress. You feel me? Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Let me do my defense thing.
It's more about the, it's the money and then the fame and like all the other stuff like to go along with it. And I mean, so you want to be, everybody wants to be the next big thing. Salah's done a great job with the Jets. Like I mean, I think Mike McDaniel has done an outstanding. I think he's done an outstanding job with the Dolphins. But but let's move on. Before we get out of
here when he left.
Yo, I didn't even think that Mike McDaniel was gonna get offered a coaching position. Like I was like, well, I mean, when he made him the offensive coordinator last year, I was like, well, that's an in name only, and nobody's gonna really offer him any positions.
Right.
And yeah, they were the only ones. They were the only ones. But before we get out of here, I want to bring up real quick our next game against the Buccaneers. And what are your
before we just jump off that, that portion of the show, Greenlaw did this thing too.
Oh yeah,
Dre showed up too, man.
There's just so many. There's so many guys because Jimmy Ward had that crazy interception. Jimmy Ward had that crazy Superman interception, and then Greenlaw.
Oh man,
Greenlaw was just insane. Insane
defense. And Kyle get his head out of his ass and make the run game what it need to be. You know what I'm saying? Brock Purdy is just all he got to do is don't turn the ball over. But I'm sorry to derail you. Going to the next topic, I just want to make sure I mention Greenlaw. And you mentioned Ward.
And like, man, if I could mention every little, and I mean, you got to, if you're going to mention Greenlaw, we got to mention Lenore too. He got his pick. Like, granted, it was deflection, but like everybody said he was going to be the weak link. Everybody said he was going to be the weak link.
He was there.
And like, so got to give him his props. But so Buccaneers, what is your way too early keys for the Buccaneers game?
Whoop Tom Brady ass.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to.
That's all. That's all you get. Tom don't like getting hit.
Nope.
He don't like getting up either. So you get to listen. He's gonna try to get the ball out of his hands fast. You know, that's going to be the game plan. I'm not really worried about nobody running past us. I mean, what's up, boy? Name is it Godson? Is that his name?
Gots
Or
for what position?
wide receiver, Tampa Bay. So not Mike Evans.
Oh, Godwin, and
Godwin.
and Mike Evans.
Like I said, we've seen the recipe and the blueprint to beat Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls and countless regular season games. You make sure he get up every play. You make sure somebody reaching down, handing him a hand every snap. Like, damn it.
Exactly.
And he gonna get the cousin to throwing tablets and this is bullshit. I don't get hit. I'm Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, listen, it's gonna be Shark Week. He's not gonna run from you.
No, so he ain't going nowhere.
Walk him down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm telling you, this week, hey, what ball did he say? Shark Week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, hey, go get him.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned Armstead because that interior pressure is a key against Brady because he loves to step up into the pocket and let those defensive ends fly around him. Like so it's going to be key getting pressure up the middle. And so that's why I think we're going to see a lot of stunts because they can't really, they're not really a good running team. Like and so I think that they're going to, of course, depend on Brady. And but if they even tried to run the ball, it would be a mistake. Like, I mean, because the 49ers are so good against the run that it's, if anything, it's just going to be a change of pace. But yeah, I think that interior pressure is going to be key in this game. And because I don't think that they're going to be able to throw deep. Like, I know that that's what Tom wants to do. Like, but I think that he's going to end up trying to kill us with a thousand small cuts. And that's not going to work with this defense because they're sound tacklers.
Yes.
So
yeah, man, they stay in his face. Like I said, that up the gut pressure, you know, between that, you know, that 1 tech, 3 tech, you know what I'm saying? Stay in his face. So Armstead should eat, you know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do a lot of that on Sunday. You know what I'm talking about?
For sure. So what do you think early? Like, I mean, we haven't even seen the injury reports or anything yet. Like, what do you think is what's your score for that game? Just knowing what we know about both teams.
I hate doing score predictions because I'm rarely ever right. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
But, Miami only scored 17, and those 2 touchdowns were blown coverages. So I'm gonna give him 1 blown coverage. Okay, I'm gonna give him 1, you know, one slip up on blown coverage. I'm gonna give him 2 field goals. So 7 to 6, 13. So I'm gonna give him 13. I'm gonna say we scored a defensive touchdown. That was what 26. So I'm gonna say 27-13, barring us scoring a defensive touchdown. So 27-13 Niners.
And that's a good prediction. I am going to go kind of aggressive as far as defensive end. Like I think I'm going to go 21-10. And the reason, you know what, that's not good. I think 24-10. I'm going to go 24-10 because we're going to kick at least 1 field goal. Like, right. And so, yeah, I'm going to go 10 points because I just think that, like you said, they're going to get 1 fluke touchdown, and then I think that Tom's going to drive him down at least for another field goal. And I think the field goal is going to come early, and they're going to only have 3 points for a long time. Like,
I like that.
That's just the way that I see it because I think D'Amico is going to wait to see how they try to do their thing, and then he's going to input. That's what it seems like. That's what he does on every first drive is he likes to feel out what they're going to do, and then he just puts the clamps on.
Right. Yep.
He's like, okay, you doing this? Okay, we got you. So, but hey, Kev, we went a little long, but like I really appreciate you coming on today. I appreciate everybody in the chat, like Cowboy, Melissa, Mom. Appreciate you coming in, like showing love, and your boy came in there too. As Bryant Culp. and Cowboy and Raphael and just a whole bunch of
Oh
people.
yeah, they do. They come to
Like
the show too, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I appreciate
appreciate y'all.
everybody coming in and giving us love. One more time, Kev, why don't you tell them where they can find you? If you got to get your shirt out, I understand.
But I'm not gonna go through all that. They know what it is. Real talk,
Yeah.
not a talk. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. For the post game show for the Dolphins, man. So, hey, I appreciate your time, man. You see the shirt, real talk, not a talk. You should see the background. The medallion. It's real talk, not a talk, man. Thank you for your time, bro. Hey, anytime, man. Pete, man. Hey, man, and keep grinding too, bro. I'm telling you, it's a slow grind, but
Yeah, I love it.
progress is a slow process, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep going, man. You keep
Yeah.
bringing the real. You keep being real, they will come. If
I
you be real, they
appreciate
will
you,
come,
man.
man.
And one more time, so you can find. Obviously, we found us on YouTube. Like I'm on Facebook. I broadcast to Facebook. I broadcast to Twitter. Then also you can find my snippets on Instagram and TikTok. You can get the audio anywhere where you get your audio podcast. So make sure that you go and check that out. Make sure you give Kev a follow on Twitter and all of his social media places, Instagram, everything. And then make sure you give Real Talk Niner Talk a subscribe, and make sure while you're there, subscribe to my channel, Niner Fanatic Podcast, and hit the bell, to make sure you get your notifications whenever I go live. I'll be doing another show Sunday, and I'll be doing my pregame and then the instant reaction right after the game. So watch out for that. Also, we got Last Man Standing tomorrow at 7 o'clock Pacific with Niner Sickness, Forever Faithful, and Celts Chronicles. So make sure you guys check for that. We working.
All right, man.
But I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys the next time I see you. But as always, go Niners.
I appreciate y'all, man.